Toronto police are about to officially try to undergo the biggest change in the force that it's seen in decades. And if this report is fully implemented, it could change how police respond to your call if you need them for help. The Police Services Board just approved this transformational task force report earlier today, and they say it's going to modernize an outdated force. There are 34 recommendations in all in the report, and they're supposed to chop $100 million from the police budget, which topped $1 billion for the first time last year. It proposes closing divisions, a hiring and promotions freeze, and putting officers back walking the beat and staying in communities for at least 3 years. It also proposes a change in how police respond to calls. There would be a triage system. Officers would respond to emergencies, civilian might respond to non-emergencies, or complaints may even be handled online. The chief is optimistic this is going to make significant change.
This wasn't about junk science. This wasn't about subjective content. This report is a genuine report that used analytics for the very first time, looking at the data, breaking it down, where the officers are, how long they've been there, what resources are used, how often we get the calls, and measuring these things. So we have an actual tool that is based on objective content. We can now use that to be more intelligence-led in our model of delivery and have an idea of how we can anticipate, how we can look at crime prevention, and offer a whole host of different opportunities of being efficient, of being better and more effective in our delivery model.
Now, there are also a lot of naysayers. Critics point out that this report calls for a massive cultural shift, yet is short on details on how to turn that around. And the recommendations also need the union's support. And the association has been calling this nothing more than cost-cutting. Can the union scuttle the transformational plan?
Well, it's not a question of scuttle, but we definitely have a role to play in if the service wants to make these types of moves or makes these changes. We want to see the data that supports any of the positions, but we're not going to take a foolhardy approach and say that we're going to do this for a budgetary reason.
Now, the police chief says he understands the skepticism around the report and that some fear that it will just simply gather dust. When I asked him how long it would be before Torontonians see a major change in the police force, he said, and I quote, "I was told if you have to eat an elephant, you do it one bite at a time. It's going to take a long time."